All right.
Hi.
Well, hello and welcome to another edition of Coors in Kentucky.
Yeah.
We're in Las Vegas, laid over for the weekend, for
Yeah.
the Labor Day weekend.
Quit wiping at him. Don't come to Vegas. It's hot and miserable.
Today we want to talk about truck driving.
Yeah.
We're not going to mention Vegas because we really don't have anything positive to say about it. So we'll stick to truck driving.
Okay. Yes.
Today's going to be truck driving and statistics and government ELDs and
safety.
Safety. It's all about safety and hours of service and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Which they force down all our throats and make us abide whether we agreed to it or not.
Yes.
I've been a truck driver for going on 24 years. This is my 24th year out here on the road. I've spent more time out here than I have been walking. So, by the way, we're by an airport,
Yeah.
so you'll see Southwest go by probably about
1,000 times.
10 times more than Delta,
Mhm.
and Allegiant comes through about 1/5 of that time, and we saw Paradise,
We saw a couple Frontier.
Frontier, yeah.
Yeah.
So if it gets noisy,
We
it's not our fault.
apologize,
That's
yeah.
the airplane's going. It's nice to see them go by though,
It is.
and we've noticed that the commercial jets take a different path than the private jets.
Yes. There's some
So,
nice private jets.
Yeah, the elite obviously have
Their own
their own
runway. Yes.
Yeah. Texans that come in and want to gamble some money away out here in Las Vegas get the top spot. So anyway, we're here talking about you want to say something about DC Channel? Give them a shout out or anything?
No, not particularly. I mean, I suppose if you want.
We get a lot of stuff from him, and he keeps us up to date over the course of everything. DC Channel vlogs, if you get a chance to watch him, he's pretty good. Keeps us up to date. Now, every day there's an accident on the American interstates
Yes.
involving a big rig. Every day. This is not a
Once in a while.
once in a while thing. Every day.
Every day.
There's an accident. We passed
We
three
pass them, yeah.
in one day
One
coming
accident.
through Flagstaff. We left Flagstaff. We spent the night in Flagstaff
Yeah.
and took off out here to Las Vegas and saw three
And one
big
ac-
truck accidents in one day.
That was one
Day.
hour. That was
Within 75 miles.
That was.
Within 75 miles.
Yeah.
One was tipped over
Yep.
on its side. One was burned up at the rear wheels.
Yep.
And another one was on the other side of the interstate.
We couldn't really say that one, but there were two big trucks in that.
Two big trucks involved in that one. So that is the accident rate out here for trucks is astronomical. It's just ridiculous.
Yes.
And we decided to do a little research.
Yeah. We have our own statistics.
Here is the problem, okay? ELDs came into effect in what, April, something like that?
I believe that was mandatory then.
Mandatory. It was mandatory to have an ELD.
By April.
Recently, we've had a request for everybody to add input into the hours of service.
Yes.
Constantly, the government is working on hours of service. Hours of service, hours of service, hours of service. We need to do something about hours of service. Everything is about hours of service. Hours of service, hours of service. The other part of it is that they've been shoving down everybody's throat. The federal government, the ATA, the FMCSA have been shoving down everybody's throat. I'm tired of the OOIDA. They don't do shit, all right? They avoid everything. They keep saying, it's driver rights or a violation of rights.
They're playing it safe.
Yeah, playing it safe. Stop playing it fucking safe.
Instead of trying to stand up for your rights.
That's right.
Okay.
OIDA is not doing anything. So, we have got the FMCSA and the ATA, which are combined, and all your big mega carriers are CEOs of the ATA.
Yeah.
They're all in cahoots. So they're trying to pass this shit off and trying to push it into everybody's head. Well, ever since the mandate of the ELD, hours of service violations are down.
Yes.
Hours of service violations. And that's all there is to it. That's all they say.
Yes, that's the
Hours of service violations have been down.
That's the only statistics they're throwing out there.
Well, duh, you're on a computer log. Everybody's going to be down on hours of service violations.
They're not giving you the rest of the statistics.
The rest of the statistics.
About
right?
how safe the roads are with
Right.
these ELDs.
ELDs are fantastic. They're fantastic. Hours of service violations are down. They're fucking 60%. Hours of, yeah. What about other violations? What about brake violations? What about inspection violations? The other inspection violations. Hours of service is less than 1%. Less than 1% of the violations conducted by DOT officers. That means that your hours of service violations being down means absolutely nothing. It's minuscule compared to everything else.
Yeah.
So, we've done our own research, and this is public research.
Yeah. It's public record. Yeah.
Everybody needs to check into this. Okay? Records are available publicly.
Yeah.
We all know that. We have a CSA score, which is publicly available for every company across the United States.
Yeah.
So, let's go over some statistics.
Okay.
The mega carriers have been using ELDs for years now.
Yes.
Swift, Prime,
Werner.
they all do. Qualcomm and
ELD.
have the macros and all that other bullshit. They don't run paper. They've been running ELDs for years.
Yeah. It'll even tell on some of their trucks.
Yeah, well, what I wanted to know was how many companies, since the mandate of the ELDs, how many of these companies have been in accidents because they're blasting through towns at 64 miles an hour with their foot to their floor in 55 mile an hour zones, 45 mile an hour zones, trying to beat the clock on a constant basis. That's what they're doing.
Through the construction zones.
Through the construction zones, through the small towns, constantly trying to beat that clock, trying to beat that 14-hour fucking rule, trying to beat the hours of service.
Yeah.
They're on a computer. They have no choice. Blast through everything. 45? Fuck that. 64 miles an hour. All right, so this is from the FMCSA website.
Yes. And this is in the past 24 months. up to yesterday. 24 months up to yesterday.
Up to yesterday.
Up to yesterday.
We've comprised a list of companies that have been using ELDs for at least beyond the 24 months prior to this report.
Okay.
Okay?
However you want to go with this now.
Let's go Celadon. Drivers, 2,533 drivers. Crashes, 396. That's almost 400. 2,533 drivers, almost 400 crashes. That's approximately 17% of those drivers have been in accidents. 114 injuries, 16 fatalities in 24 months.
Yes.
Out of 2,533 drivers.
Yep.
I'm not going to do the statistics. You can add everything up and do your own statistics. U.S.Express, 6,857 drivers. A lot less than what I thought it would be, but 798, almost 800 accidents.
Yep.
And now, okay, this is reportable.
This is. Yeah.
This is reportable accidents to the FMCSA. This is not
In parking lots.
in parking lots or anything else. 247 injuries, 24 fatalities. That's one fatality per month.
Yep.
It's one fatality per month. Schneider. We all know Schneider. You get one stripe for every fuck up that you do. Eventually, the entire truck is orange. 13,600 drivers. Now, I'm going to tell you, actually, Schneider's not doing that bad on crashes. Unfortunately, they're really killing it on injuries.
Yep.
1,018 crashes out of 13,600 drivers. 271 injuries. Here's the downfall. 37 fatalities. They've killed 37 people in less than 24 months. Werner, 10,001. Oh, Werner, the pioneer of the
ELD.
electronic logs.
Yes.
Here we go. 10,198 drivers. 1,019 crashes. That's 10%. 271 injuries.
No, 296.
Oh, 296 injuries.
Yep.
26 fatalities. That's more than one per month.
Yep.
One per.
On
Your
the-
Werner drivers,
On the pioneers.
pioneers of ELDs. Now, we're not going to get into whose fault it was or anything like that. There are all kinds of factors to the statistics,
Yep.
which the FMCSA holds dear. The factors that include, they bleed you a bunch of bullshit to make you think, to persuade you into another thought.
Yeah. But everything's all safe and good.
Everything's safe and good. Well, how many of them were caused by the four-wheelers? How many of them were?
Yeah.
That is a good question.
They didn't.
Doesn't say.
Doesn't say that.
But let's go by statistics,
Statistics.
like they want to do. They
Mhm.
want to do everything by statistics.
There you go.
That's right. 26. That's more than one per month. Swift.
I already know what it's like.
We all know Swift. Dun-dun, 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 dun-dun. We all know Swift. Swift is one of the major carriers out here.
Yes.
They've got more drivers than anybody else that we've come across.
Yeah.
Let's go over Swift statistics. 20,530 drivers
Yes.
on log. 2,099 crashes. That's 10%. That's more than 10%. 600 injuries.
I know what's coming next.
60 fatalities.
60
fatalities.
in 24 months.
In 24 months. That's 3 a month. Figure it out. That's 3 a month. Swift is out here killing 3 people a month.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically. Prime's another good one. 7,475 drivers, 779 crashes. Now this is off the FMCSA website.
Yeah, you can
And this
look
is
this up.
only, this is public information.
Yeah.
And this is only reportable. This is not
Yeah.
shit that's happening in private parking lots. 700, that's better than 10%. 221 injuries, 23 fatalities. That's almost 1 a month. Prime is killing. Prime, you're killing 1 person a month.
Pretty much.
We got CRST and Crete here too. I'm not going to go any further because it just proves itself.
It does.
And these are all companies that have had ELDs over the past 24 months.
Yes.
So, are ELDs working? No. It's time for the FMCSA and the ATA to stop focusing on hours of service. I'm an owner-operator. I've been doing this for 24 years. I have driven miles upon miles upon miles. And I have only been in 1 fatality accident due to a drunk driver hitting me.
Yes.
That was not my fault. Now, the OOIDA has called for input on hours of service and everything else. Hours of service. That's what the government wants to focus on. Hours of service. Hours of service. Fatigue. Everything is about fatigue. Driver fatigue. Let's focus on the real problem out here, fellas. Let's really get down to what the problem is.
Yes.
And the problem is...
Which one do you want me to go?
Say it. What's the problem out here? What is wrong with these drivers out here nowadays?
Which way do you want me to go with this? You want me to say what I want to say?
Say it. Whatever you think. Whatever comes to your head.
What's this pain pass? It's a bunch of young kids or opposite direction of the spectrum, older people. They think it's all a vacation. They sit with their foot up in the window. They don't listen to advice. They're told not to listen to advice. So when you try to offer them advice, they get smart ass mouth on them. They don't have a CB so they have no idea if there's
That's a good point.
a
That's
weather
a very good
problem,
point.
if there's a traffic accident. So they just sit there,
Zero information.
zero information, zero input. Nobody can help anybody else out. CBs are few and far between, and of them, like I said, there's smart ass dumbasses on there who've always got some quip to come back with something. For the most part, most of these people are so fat, I don't see how they passed an exam to begin with. I'm serious. If you're 300 pounds and you probably can't see your own dick, you probably don't need to be in a truck. You probably don't need to be in a Nissan, let alone behind the wheel of a big truck. 'Cause there is no way in hell you're out doing your own work. That's just some of it. Anything else you want me to cover? They're lazy, they're complacent, they are content and happy sitting beside the road waiting 4 hours for somebody to come fix their shit instead of trying to do it themselves.
I see.
They don't get out of their truck and inspect anything before they wake up. I know better. And I don't drive shit. They pull in, they go to bed at night without checking anything.
That's right. And what do they do when they wake up in the morning?
They wake up and scratch their ass or go get a shower or some Subway and freaking get in the truck and leave.
Without checking
Anything. Anything.
Witnessed. First-hand witness.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm not a driver. I know this shit, though. I'm telling you. They don't represent their companies worth of shit. They're out there in flip-flops and khaki shorts and tank tops. They look like they should be at the beach.
Yep. All right, now here is the major problem. I'm going to throw it at you. The major problem that the government really ought to be looking at. We need stricter government licensing rules.
Oh, yeah.
Regulations.
Yeah.
We have got too many inexperienced drivers out here. I know there is a shortage of drivers, yet at the same time, you can't, not any monkey can do this.
That's right.
And that's what they feel is...
It is a skilled trade. It should be treated as a skilled trade. Period.
That's right. That's right. And the government treats it as any monkey can do this.
That's right. Not any monkey can go be a carpenter. Not any monkey can go be an electrician. It's a skilled trade, like I said, treated as such.
That's
Quit
right.
just bringing in any dumbass off the street just because you need workers, because you need freight moved. Tough shit. Y'all are going to have to change something.
That's exactly right. So, we have got a bunch of monkeys out here that are steering wheels and not actually drivers. They're not skilled trade workers.
That's right. They're not learning the profession. And
They're boneheads that are fucking up this industry.
That's right. They could care less if they learn.
Did you put that pepper?
I did not. I didn't. Yeah.
How does it smell?
I don't know. I just smell it good.
So anyway, our point here is that the government is attacking everybody for driver fatigue.
Yeah.
Fatigue is not a problem. Your hours of service are causing the fatigue. Give us the right to operate at our own
discretion, leisure,
discretion.
What? Okay.
What we feel is, hey, sometimes I wake up, I can drive 5 hours and I'll be exhausted.
Yep. Ready for a nap.
Why push me 14 hours? Why can't I take a nap? I'm an experienced driver. I know my own limitations.
Everybody should know their own limitations, how their body works. Is right.
Don't push people like that. If you really want to fucking solve the problem out here with all these fatalities that these big companies are causing,
yep.
Fix the
licensing system?
The licensing system.
Yes.
Okay? Joe Schmo goes into, let's throw out a statistic. I want to throw something out here, which my girlfriend's been with me for about 6 months now.
Yeah.
And I want to throw out school buses.
Okay.
People rely on school buses to bring their children to school.
Yeah.
And she just recently realized that you only need a 3-week course to get a school bus license.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
To drive a school bus. To drive your children to school.
So all these parents out here are putting their child's safety in the hands of somebody that took a 3-week course.
A 3-week course.
Keep that in mind. 3 weeks. And they're allowed to handle a bus with, what, 30, roughly
40 children.
Children on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a Class B CDL.
Yeah.
No experience necessary.
No.
We have got companies like Swift, Werner, CRST, they allow a driver to train another driver
Yep.
after
6.
3 weeks
Yeah.
on the road or something like that. So basically, you've got the blind leading the blind.
Yeah.
Somebody who has no experience teaching another person
Who has no experience?
who has no experience. Therefore, what you end up with is no
No
experience.
experience. A road full of people with no experience.
Welcome to America.
Yay.
Yeah. Okay. Now, for those of you who are not in the trucking industry
Yeah.
and are thinking about getting into it, I'm going to tell you to stay away from it. Because of these people, we are not respected anymore. It's not a respected trade. See guys with their foot up on the windshield,
Headsets on.
headsets
The
on,
whole time.
wearing flip-flops and shorts and sandals and shit like that. But
It's not a vacation.
it's not a vacation.
It's
It's
a
a job.
Take it seriously as a job should be taken.
That's right. Take it seriously. Stop treating it like it's a fucking vacation. It's not a vacation. It is a job. You are responsible for an 80,000 pound, 40-ton vehicle driving down the road amongst families, children, everything else. You need to be respectful about it.
Yeah.
These guys don't take it as a job anymore. And that's where the problem lies in. Experience.
You made the point before about the licensing, you know, how you can't just. My daughter has her permit and she has to drive with somebody for 6 months
Uh-huh.
before she can even take her test. I cannot give her the test and write something and saying, oh, she passed, and her take that to get her license.
I see where you're going with this.
But,
Yeah.
okay, you know where I'm going with this.
Yep.
These companies who have the drivers train the other drivers,
Mm-hmm.
and then they are licensed to give them the test and say, oh, you passed, and they give them the license.
That's right.
That's right. I can't do that. Like I said, I can't give my daughter a driving test and pass her and her have an official license. Why are they allowed to? They have no credibility, in my opinion. It should be, what, federally mandated?
Federally mandated. Yes.
If you're going to drive and get a CDL, it should be a federally mandated, not these companies giving the test. That's bullshit, because they're going to pass them because they need the drivers.
That's right. That's right. And that's exactly what's going on, is that rather than having a certified inspector and driving instructor
Yes.
giving a test, we have got company drivers saying, okay, you know, well, you can't back up right now, but you'll get used
Get
to
used
it.
to it.
And
It'll come.
passing them.
Yes.
Yes. There is no federally mandated
CDL
CDL
test. What?
the passing. Your
Guidelines.
guidelines. We need federal institutions to issue your license.
Yes.
Not private institutions.
That's right. And you would be surprised probably how many people
Would
not.
fail.
That's right.
Would fail. Because if you can't parallel park, if you can't back up straight, if you can't dock back, you would fail. That's it. That'd be half of these drivers off the road. Boom. Done.
Yes.
Sorry, you failed.
I like to look at
Go practice more and come back.
yeah. I like to look at the statistics if that was to happen. If they were to federally mandate how the licensing system is set up, love to go back and look at the statistics then.
Yeah. Oh, half these drivers would be off the road. And if you're too fat to crawl under a truck and adjust your brakes, you don't belong in a truck.
No.
Sorry.
If your steering wheel is
Goodbye.
cutting into your gut, you do not belong in the truck. I've seen that more than once.
Yep. Yep. You have to be able to take care of that truck. So those
Yep.
people that are obese and overweight, I don't want to hear it.
No.
Ladies, too. Sorry. Gonna fucking pull it down on you ladies, too. If you don't know the brake thickness, the brake adjustments, if you don't have any tools, I don't care. We're gonna throw it at you. Fucking call me chauvinistic or what. You don't belong in this industry. So,
I don't feel it's a woman in the industry anyway, so I'm sure I'll get some backlash for that. You know?
anyway, we're gonna let this go right now. We're at 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So, give it some thought. And, I just want to throw one more thing out there for anybody that drives a car and doesn't know anything about trucking. 3-week course, you're allowed to drive an 80,000 pound wrecking ball.
Pretty much.
Okay. Most of these trucks are governed at like 64, 67. So when they start passing each other, their top speed is 67 miles an hour. They cannot go past that speed.
Yeah.
So they will ride together for 10 miles
Yep.
until one passes the other
Yep.
due to weight and inclines and declines.
And ignorance, because they know they
Ignorance
can't
because
pass each
one
other.
dumbass won't
That's
fucking
right.
push
other
the
one
brake.
won't just back off and let the other one pass. Yeah.
That's that. And speed, inclines, power.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that should about do it.
Yeah.
So, welcome to another channel of Cores in Kentucky.
Episode.
Yeah. We'll have another episode later.
All right, later.